love me like you do, la la, love me like you do. Love me like you do, la la, love me like you do. Touch me like you do, ta ta, touch me like you do.
Hi, I'm Jake, welcome to Rush Reviews. Here's a lollipop condom, and today I'm going to be reviewing 50 Shades of Grey. Ooh, I'm going to try to. Well, 50 Shades of Grey is a movie that's based on a book, which is based on Twilight fanfiction. Not me saying it, it is actually the author herself that said it. Anyway, it doesn't really matter. What's the movie like? Well, the movie in itself is pretty grey. This is me and my girlfriend talking. My girlfriend's not here, unfortunately, but yeah, me and her went to go see this movie, and for the first 40 minutes we were quite bored. Okay, I'm just saying, the movie in itself is a pretty grey-looking movie. It seems to be used a lot of grey filters. That in itself, though, can be forgiven. There's a lot of digitally shot movies that aren't really that visually interesting. The characters get them by. Doesn't work in this one though. The characters in this, Anastasia Steele and Mr. Grey himself, which is played by Anastasia is played by Dakota Johnson. Don't quote me on that. I think it was Dakota Johnson. It was Dakota Johnson, and Mr. Grey was Jamie Dornan. Fun fact: Jamie Dornan only got 80 grand for doing this movie. I'd get 80 grand for doing that movie. He didn't really do much. Anyway, so 50 Shades of Grey opens up with Anastasia's friend saying that she's ill and doesn't want to do an interview with Mr. Grey, so she takes it. She's very nervous. She goes into the office building. They have this little interchange. Turns out he goes off the rails and he starts asking her questions or saying, "Is there any questions that you'd like to ask?" And then she doesn't really say anything, and then it's a little bit awkward. And then he starts going like against the table, and then he starts to get this look for her. He starts to. Well, he's a bit attracted to her. He looks at her with those nice eyes. He does have nice eyes, to be fair. Let's be pretty clear here. And then he starts to kind of not invade her life, but get to integrate into her life. And he goes to her work. Sorry, she goes to his work first. He goes to her work, and then buys things that he would use in his playroom, which gets introduced 50 minutes into the movie. This annoyed me about the movie. It took 50 minutes for the actual plot of the movie to begin. The plot of the movie and the plot of the book are the same. Now, granted, if you're going to do like iterations, then fine. But please, if it's a movie based on a book based on sex or BDSM, that should kind of be your main plot point. But yeah, so it takes 50 minutes, and then we finally see the playroom. The playroom's an organised mess of bondagey stuff. And then they start doing it. Now, what I will say is the sex scenes are actually quite good. It's 18 rating, is earned, but to the lowest possible point. There's a lot of boobs, there's a lot of bums, there's a lot of it of bush. She has a lot of bush though, and the sex scenes didn't really do too much for me. They didn't really do too much. My girlfriend didn't. A lot of the audience actually thought the movie was really boring. And I can see why they said it. There wasn't really a lot of visual stimulation in the movie, which kind of sucked because they kind of used grey palettes in the movie, which sucked. But whatever else. The characters didn't really do too much that was kind of stimulating either. Before they go to the playroom, though, they go into the helicopter, right? And when the helicopter comes on, when they're in the helicopter, the best part of the movie begins.
What are you waiting for?
Yeah, Ellie Goulding's song, I think, just went for this movie, and it's definitely the most stimulating part of this movie. See when they're riding in the helicopter and that song comes on, God, my heart kept going. It was a great scene. Congratulations, you got me interested. But it was a song in your movie that got me stimulated. Yeah. Not any sex scenes. The sex scenes in themselves aren't, to me, seemed melodramatic. He was going down on her and he was kissing her. He wasn't even there yet. He was at her, like just below her boobs, and she was acting like it was the best thing in the world. No, it probably is the best thing in the world. It just seemed a little bit more dramatic to me. However, a lot of girls that I speak to actually say, have you ever actually had a guy go down on you and kiss you? Well, no, I haven't, unfortunately. Well, no, I haven't, but to me, it just seemed a little bit melodramatic, and she loses virginity to him. Again, I don't think that's going to happen, but it's Hollywood. Things are going to be a little bit melodramatic. So, yes, we have a few scenes where they have sex, and he talks about the contract and all that kind of stuff. And you know what? See, as soon as the talk of the contract comes in, it did start to get a little bit interesting. So the second half of this movie was a little bit interesting. He meets the family, couldn't give a fuck about that scene. Rita Ora's in this movie, literally for a second. That's about it. So things that involve the contract and all that, where he's shown her how to be a submissive, and she's kind of getting used to this whole concept of being a submissive. There's a scene where he spanks her because she does, looks away from him, draws her eyes from him. That was a bit cool. That was pretty enjoyable, actually. I'm going to sound weird, but me and my girlfriend both agree. The scenes where it's kind of leading up to sex, kind of that stimulation leading up to sex, that foreplay, oral, whatever else. Yeah, guess what? They are what kind of stimulate your audience. And a movie that is based on a book is based on sex. You're not wanting visual representation of sex because there's going to be a porn, but you're wanting things that will stimulate you and remind you, oh, this is going to lead to sex, and that's quite cool. Scenes like that really did work. There just wasn't enough of them in this movie. Scenes where he kind of owned her and he spanked her. That was a cool scene. And if there were more of them, cool. Unfortunately, there wasn't really. And a lot of this movie as well kind of seemed to basically just brag about being rich. Helicopters, the cars, the gliders, the gliding scene, where they're in a glider. You go to the parents' house, it's a big mansion. All of this just seemed to me like if you're rich, you can get a girl to do what you want with. Spank her, why the fuck not, as long as you buy her a car. Wrong, it came to the wrong message. 50 Shades of Grey is actually BDSM, and there's not an explanation, not too much of an explanation of BDSM. It basically it doesn't even scratch the surface. All it does is talk about the two main things that everyone knows about, which is a dominant and a submissive, and what a dominant does and what a submissive does. That's it. It doesn't actually talk about anything else. We learn he's had a bit of a troubled childhood, but that's it. And that gives a wrong impression for people that like BDSM. They're considered deviant in mainstream society. This is the first look at it in mainstream society, and they've went for the, he had a bad childhood. Kinda sucks, but oh well. What would I rate 50 Shades of Grey? I'm giving it 55. Alright, so 50 Shades gets a 55 from me. It wasn't all round terrible. It is quite watchable, but it's very long. I'd say skip the first 30 minutes. Make this an hour and a half movie for yourself, and it's a pretty okay movie. If it was an hour and a half, I'd maybe give it a 60. It was a wee bit too long. There was a lot of scenes that really kind of weren't needed, and I feel like they touched on the wrong tones, or the wrong topics, the wrong themes. If they'd actually explored BDSM a little bit more, it would have been a little bit more enlightening and a little bit more enjoyable. There was a lot more scenes that kind of stimulate the kind of sexual responses. Then yeah, I think this would have been good. But alright, I don't think this movie was really ever going to come out and be amazing. I heard a lot of people that read the book and said, oh, this was nothing like the book. Well, yeah, because it was going to be the book, it was just going to be an all-out porn. So in that sense, a little bit better than what we thought. And yeah, I'm giving it a positive because it's 55%. What did you think of 50 Shades of Grey? Let me know.
Fading in, fading out, on the edge of paradise. Every inch